Okay, seems like the quality's better. I had to restart stream because the quality on the last stream, because I went low latency. So I think it was poor quality because of that. So now I'm just on normal latency, which means there's a little bit of a delay, but that's fine. I feel like they nerfed Touch of Thunder pulse grenades. Should I go test it real quick? Yeah, I'm gonna go test Touch of Thunder pulse grenades because if they nerfed it, what? It's the second time I've been kicked out of the game when trying to fly somewhere from within an activity. Yeah, so I'm heading to Neomuna right now just to make sure that Touch of Thunder pulse grenades haven't been stealth nerfed, because I know they said they were nerfing abilities and ability spam. And the obvious culprits for that, at least on Titan, are Touch of Thunder pulse grenades, Bonk Titan, which they nerfed and they said they did, and Banner of War Titan. They didn't say that they nerfed Threat of Fury, but they did. And I was just trying to do the second boss in the dungeon, and on the Scorn mini bosses, I was throwing pulse grenades and I got like one ionic trace. Can't really test it on these red bars because you need to do sustained damage to get multiple ionic traces. But I used to be able to, like on Crota, whenever I do Crota on Titan, I usually do it on Arc, because while doing like Bequest surrounded sword damage, you can throw like 4 pulse grenades back to back during a single damage phase. So my thinking was, since the Locus of Wailing Grief boss in the dungeon is like a minute or greater than a minute damage phase, you need something a little bit more sustainable than a finite amount of heavy ammo, for example. So you could do a damage rotation between like a heavy weapon that's good on ammo and a special weapon that's good on damage. Okay, let's test it. 1, 2. That is... One. I think he was out of my range there, but... Yeah. I'm pretty sure they nerfed it. One, two, three, four. Yeah, you used to be able to get like 7 ionic traces. That wasn't even enough to fully charge my grenade up. One, two, three. Wow. Did they say in an update if they nerfed pulse grenades? Okay, so I mean you could still get a reasonable amount of pulse grenades, but oh, is that a new world drop? Yeah, it looks like they nerfed Touch of Thunder pulse grenades. So I don't know if that's going to be a viable strategy anymore. Save the last few minutes there. And then I'll cross-check it to my previous video. Actually, I'll go check it right now. 1. Wait, let's go to the start. Look how fast you get the ionic traces. 1, 1, 2. I don't know. Did they nerf it or not? Maybe they just nerfed ionic traces and like how much energy you get back from them. Did they say that that's what they were doing? Let's go to Bungie. I think I remember I think they might have mentioned something about nerfing ionic traces. Where's abilities? Abilities. Neutral game abilities now receive variable amounts of ability energy from perks that grant instant percentage chunk energy based on the ability's passive cooldown tier. Yeah, I'm sure your average layman is going to understand what the hell that means, but basically I guess they're just nerfing anything that basically like how Touch of Thunder pulse grenades were allowed you previously to the season. You're able to throw back to back. Like I was just saying, on one damage phase versus Crota, I was able to throw like 4 or 5 pulse grenades. Arc. See, so they're very like vague with this statement here. They're not saying exactly what they nerfed. They're just saying in general they nerfed abilities and gameplay loops that you can use with your build crafting to give you instant ability regeneration. So that's why they kept Thread of Fury to themselves, because I found out yesterday doing the first boss that throwing a tangle at an enemy now does not fully refund a melee charge, whereas previous to this season you would get any tangle damage would give you a full Frenzied Blade or a full Arcane Needle. Now it gives you like 3/4, so you can't rely on destroying a tangle for an instant melee charge. They didn't state that in these patch notes, so it makes sense that they also didn't state that the amount of chunk energy that you get from ionic traces has been severely nerfed. at least from the perspective of Touch of Thunder pulse grenades, because one pulse grenade with magnitude will give you like, I thought it used to give you more ionic traces, like 7, but counting in terminal overload versus the bosses here, I was able to get about 4. If the boss would stay in the pulse grenade, I'd get at least 4 ionic traces, but it would only refund my grenade energy like halfway, which is pretty bad for what it used to be. Go test it on this big guy over here. Switch it back to the game. There's one trace. I mean, if they did nerf ionic traces, that means that Heart of Most Light is going to be even more important now. Or maybe not. Maybe it's not even worth building into the ability spam. Yeah, because actually could just look it up, see if anybody said anything on Reddit. So Ionic Traces is 12.5% energy return. Oh yeah, and they also nerfed Kickstart, right? So if you get 4 Ionic Traces, that's 50% of your grenade energy back from one single pulse grenade. Maybe it's just the Kickstart that got nerfed really bad. I don't know. Okay, let's get 4 armor charge. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 4 armor charge. See, how much is impact induction giving me? Oh my god, that's pathetic. And did it only consume 2 armor charge? Okay, so I have full armor charge. Oh my god. 4 stacks for like nothing. Yeah, Kickstart's bad. That's bad now. Let's see how much impact induction gives. Wait, does it have to be charged melee? Okay, yeah. So charge melee gives you about the same. Impact induction is the same as Kickstart. Like, they both give you about what looks to be about 15% of your ability energy back. And then Ionic Traces. Oh, I should test it on this tank. It's already dead. This is the perfect boss to test this on. Okay, 1. That is, I don't think that's 12.5% anymore. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do what I planned on doing versus second boss in the dungeon. So let's see. This grenade is going to give me like 15% from kickstart, and then each trace is about a pretty small amount. And then you get 25% extra. Circular logic. I'm still trying to get that envious assassin target roll lock. Target lock roll. Kind of interesting that it comes with wild card. That would be pretty good on Falcons or with volatile rounds. What's this perk? So it'd be nice if they gave us the postmaster in orbit as well. So, well, if I can't spam as many pulse grenades as I thought I would be able to on Locus. What is it? Locus of Wailing Grief or something? Can't remember the name. Yeah, Locus of Wailing Grief. If I can't spam as many pulse grenades as I thought I'd be able to, since they nerfed grenade kickstart and ionic traces. I'm pretty sure they nerfed ionic traces. Because let's look again at how fast you get your grenade. I'm pretty sure I was using grenade kickstart here. So grenade kickstart gave like double what it gives now. Wait, did I even have 4 stacks of armor charge there? No, I don't think I did. At 2, and then I throw 1 and get that much. 2, throw 1, 2, 2. Okay, 4. Look, I get 4 gives you half of it. So I think the Sorry, I forgot to switch it. So this is I'm just observing how pulse grenades were super easy to spam. So on most of these throws, I'm wasting 2 armor charges from grenade kickstart, and it's giving me like 2 armor charges is giving me about 25% of my energy back, and 4 is giving me over 50% of my energy. And then the ionic traces either are coming to me faster, or I get more traces per grenade, or I'm just getting more grenade energy per ionic trace. Because right now, you cannot do this. You can't spam pulse grenades like that anymore. So it's one of those things that they stealth nerfed, and my whole idea with going into with the Locus of Wailing Grief, because it's like 4 mini damage phases, kind of like Keitel at each pillar, and each damage phase is about, I think, 13 or 16 seconds. So that's like a long damage phase. So you either need to be super efficient on ammo, or you need to have an ability spam build with. So my idea was, instead of going tractor cannon on Strand, I was going to go tractor cannon on Touch of Thunder pulse grenades. That way, like at every pillar, I could probably throw at least 3 pulse grenades, while doing some sustained damage with like loaded question. But yeah, so that's what Touch of Thunder pulse grenades with Heart of Inmost Light and Grenade Kickstart used to look like. Now it's not looking so good. So it means I'm gonna have to kind of scratch my head at what to do for Locus of Wailing Grief. I could try using Strand Titan again. I guess it doesn't hurt to try. I haven't even made it to damage phase yet. I watched somebody's video last night on the second boss. It was just generic gameplay, no commentary or anything, but I was just kind of observing how it worked. So basically with this boss fight, you gotta shoot all the turrets, then you kill a mini boss Scorn. Then you stand in the totem like you do on the first boss, while Imminent Wish is active. And then once you expire the totem, you can try and get the second totem expired. If you could do that within the Imminent Wish timer, then when Imminent Wish goes to 0, you will have 2 solar orbs that you can bring over to light up the pillars. And then that's as far as I've gotten. And actually, I've only gotten 1 solar orb. But I noticed when I was trying to kill the mini boss Scorn that I was like not getting any grenade energy back like you typically would with Touch of Thunder pulse grenades on beefy targets, because as it does sustained damage, you get ionic traces. And the mini boss Scorn are not really moving outside of your pulse grenade. So that kind of concerned me that if I wanted to carry out this strategy onto the boss with at every totem just spam as many pulse grenades as possible, well, I can't really do that the way I thought I would be able to. Anyway, so yeah, I noticed that while fighting the boss, so I wanted to go into Terminal Overload to kind of test it, which is what I just did. And yeah, Grenade Kickstart got a huge nerf. I could probably also do solar, like just use Lament. I'm assuming that you can use Lament on this boss. Like, I'm not even sure if you can do damage to the boss if you're outside of the... Because you have to do damage at these 4 pillars here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's going to be like a circle around the totem. And then you have like 16 seconds to do damage. I don't know if you have to be in that circle the entire time, or if you just like go in it to collect the buff and then you can go wherever. What's up, GJ? Yeah, well, I'm not doing so great right now. I was, I don't know. I wanted to do something a little different. I could try Strand Titan, and in fact, I might have to go back to that. The issue is, I don't know if you've seen any footage on how this boss fight works, but it's like over a minute damage phase. It's a long damage phase. You have to go from 1, 2, 3, and 4 pillars to do damage from each of those spots. And each of those spots is going to give you like 13 or 16 seconds worth of damage. Kind of like Keitel. Like you have, like when you fight Keitel, you got to go to each bell and do damage. It's kind of similar to that. So it's an extremely long damage phase, which means that if I use Strand Titan, like Strand Titan's sweet spot for doing its insane damage is like, I want to say like 30 seconds. After that, you got no abilities left on Strand Titan. Like you're out of your super, you're out of your melees, so then you're pretty much just reliant on like special ammo from a shotgun or whatever. So if I do Strand, then I'm just concerned that I'll be without any kind of meaningful damage for the latter half of the damage phase. So my thinking was to do something that's not just different but also effective would be to use Heart of Inmost Light or Touch of Thunder pulse grenades. Because Touch of Thunder pulse grenades are insane as well. Like when I do damage to Crota on Arc Titan, I can throw like 5 pulse grenades in a single damage phase just because of all the grenade energy that you get from the ionic traces. And I also did like a boss builds video on Heart of Inmost Light and using Touch of Thunder pulse grenades last season, and it's just insane like how many pulse grenades you can throw, and they do a lot of damage. So my thinking was that's infinite damage. It doesn't matter how long the damage phase is. If I have abilities that I can get back every couple seconds, then I can just rely mostly on pulse grenades with tractor cannon and then a fusion rifle just for a little bit of extra damage. This one I've got controlled burst on it, so it's decent, and demolitionist, so as I'm throwing pulse grenades, I'm just automatically reloading it the entire time. So that was my thinking, but then I found out that grenade kickstart is like nerfed big time. And I think ionic traces are also nerfed. So I'm not going to be able to spam as many pulse grenades as I wanted to. So yeah, that's long story short. So I might have to change it up. I mean, I haven't even made it to damage phase yet, so I won't really know. Anyways, I'll give this a couple more tries, and then I'm probably going to end the stream for a bit and think about what I want to do. Plus I got a few chores to do before the sun goes down. So you get 2 of these mini boss minotaurs, which I'm assuming are going to be overload champions on master. As soon as I kill that last taken turret, then I'm gonna get the Scorn mini boss that spawns right here. Then I'll throw a pulse grenade. You can see, like, actually I should get some armor charge real quick. Okay. 4 stacks of armor charge used to give you over 50% of your grenade back. So watch. And then the ionic traces that you get from the pulse grenade would fully refund the pulse grenade within a couple seconds. Look at that. I got like 20% of my grenade back. And then... And then the ionic traces gave me a little bit, but... I mean, it's still decent, but it's, yeah, it's not that good. Like, what 4 stacks of armor charge is giving you back from grenade kickstart is basically what you get back, what you would get back from, like, 2 stacks of armor charge previously. Or even none. Like, I think last season, if you had no stacks of armor charge, kickstart mods would still give you a little bit of energy back. And I don't know why I'm getting all these orbs. I don't know if it's some kind of something to do with this encounter, but I'm getting all kinds of orbs of power for reasons I can't explain. Like, sometimes I'll throw a grenade and I'll get 3 orbs. And I'm not even using firepower or heavy-handed. I'm just using kinetic siphon and Reaper. Yeah, well, actually, so I that was actually part of the reason why I went with Arc, is because I don't have any of the seasonal artifact mods unlocked yet, except for a couple of. I do have I think the 3rd column unlocked, but I don't really have enough to make it like absolutely necessary that I use solar. So I kind of wanted to see if Arc would be viable enough, and if it is, then that would just go to show you that you don't need the seasonal artifact mod, you know, to solo this. But yeah, I'm probably going to end up having to go back to solar. Because I don't think I'm going to get enough pulse grenades. It's possible with solar. Like I might be able to use Lament, or even the new rocket launcher. Kind of feels like it's designed for this boss. And you're supposed to use the new rocket launcher kind of like Anarchy. You just place a shot, let the scorch damage refuel the rocket. I don't have the catalyst yet, but that could be good in a damage rotation. You would have, because you can conserve quite a bit of ammo if you're just shooting a rocket here and there and letting the scorch and ignitions do their thing. Then you could swap to like Airmite with controlled burst, or solar shotgun or something. Okay, well, I guess let's spawn the big guy in. Impact induction, give me a little chunk right there. Imminent Wish is 0. Yeah, so I think the goal is to try and get both solar charges. Okay, so now I got these things. So I think you could just... Oof. What's that Minotaur? See, that just made an orb. Okay, so I got one lit. So what, I gotta do this 4 times? He will easily send you flying off map. Did I just spawn him? I did. Whew, that was close. If you get biting cold to 10, then you die. And I guess you technically, if I was on Strand with grapple, I could probably kill that second mini boss in time. So I have one more mini boss to kill, one more solar orb to dunk over there. I should probably go to this side. So look at that. That just made 3 orbs of power. I should probably kill some of these Scorn. Where does he spawn? Problem is, I don't know where he spawns at. There's one there. Oh, I got 2. No. God damn it. Okay, well, I almost made it to damage phase. Okay, so I think I get the general idea. So all these Scorn are red bars at first. So that's just RNG there. I got 2 in the same spot by the same boss. Oh man, those turrets come back though. Oh shit. Come on. Okay, I got this. I got this. Yeah. It's I don't know. It feels like a pretty intense fight. I watched I don't know if you ever watched the there's an Italian streamer does stasis only, X Multi. He did the solo flawless dungeon and on stasis, of course. And it definitely had that War of Attrition vibe while he was doing it. Just a long, kind of a long boss fight and a long setup. Very different than the first boss fight. Oh. Oh, 2 for 1. Oh, I should have killed those guys first. I'm dead. I want to at least try this loadout for damage phase. Where's that other punk? I don't know if shooting those things does anything. Dead again. I think think I have time to shoot most of the turrets before grabbing the solar orbs. Look at that, it's like 4 orbs. Nice. So if you wait long enough, he puts up 2. Okay, so imminent wish is 0. Okay. Oh yeah, so there's no timer, so I can do whatever I want right now. So I'll definitely try and make it safer to go and dunk those orbs. Because now you got these orange bar frickin' snipers. And I still have a Minotaur. And then I'll just destroy all but one of these. So next time I'll save a turret on the left. Okay. No way. What? What the hell is killing me? So those Minotaurs didn't spawn again, did they? No way, that's damage? That didn't do anything. What? Okay. Definitely gotta review that. I didn't know damage was just gonna start like that. So I guess the last orb, you want to make sure that you put that where you want to start your first damage phase. So I have 12 seconds of the wish. So why was that immune? Tractor did damage, but Thunder Crash didn't. $14, $13, $12, $11. It went away. So the damage buff is Neeb's Wish Empowerment, right? 14 seconds. Let's see. Yeah. So I think it just took a minute to show up on my screen there, but I think it's 15 or 16 seconds. And then because I left, okay, so then it goes to 0 and then you get Biting Cold back. Yeah, it's looking like it, but it let me do some tractor damage outside of the buff, which is kind of weird. Right, so here but see, it lingers. The Neeb's Wish Empowerment stayed on my screen even when I was outside of the aura for like 2 seconds, and then it disappeared when I went to go cast my T-Crash, and then my T-Crash was all immunity. So I guess it gives you a little bit of forgiveness if you like strafe in and out of the aura. But yeah, I think you're probably right. You should just generally be in the aura the entire time. So it means that I can't T-Crash until the boss is close. But all the ads at the same time are such a pain. Well, and even the tractor damage I did was like hardly anything. It was less than hung jury. So maybe it's just some interaction with suppression or something that, yeah, like 4,000 damage with tractor. Yeah, so look, I debuffed him. And then there's 2 damage numbers, 17 something and 21 something. Which is not normal tractor damage. Normal tractor damage is like what? Like 20,000 or so. So Lament's not really a good option either then. And also probably Strand Titan's not really a great option. Because you gotta wait for the boss to get close to you. So it means you need some ranged damage for like the first 10 seconds of the buff, and then when he gets close, then you can use whatever. I probably would have been fine to T-Crash there if I launched my T-Crash from inside the aura. If it lingers, like, unless it just straight up doesn't do any damage once you're outside of the aura. It's just some weird thing with Tractor Cannon where the suppression effect added a couple of damage numbers. Yeah. Sunshot would be really good because then I can get Radiant. Sunshot would be good at clearing all the ads, like while if I need to micromanage killing ads and doing damage at the same time, which it looks like I might have to do that. I really wanted to use Trinity Ghoul, because Trinity Ghoul would be perfect for shooting the turrets because they're far, and it'd be good for ad clear. But then I give up having a special weapon here. I could run Riptide and Trinity Ghoul, and then run, well, either Riptide or I have that Strand fusion there with Envious and Controlled Burst. Because Arc is not synergizing with this build, even though it's theoretically it could. There's There's no monochromatic maestro anymore. The only benefit I really get out of using an arc weapon for damage is I can use certain mods, like harmonic mods, to save energy. But yeah, I could just run Riptide. And then do I just swap to Tractor? Like use Trinity Ghoul up until damage? Well, then the Trinity Ghoul doesn't help me during damage to add clear anyways. I was kind of thinking of using Grand Overture as well. Just because Grand Overture is like really good on ammo economy. Because you get like 60 rounds, I think, without any reserves. Is it 40 or 60? I can't remember. But you get quite a lot, and then you get the free missile volleys, which does a lot of damage. It's just then I don't have a debuff. But yeah, if you use a solar weapon, and I have Revitalizing Blast available now. So like I could just straight up go on solar, probably have better survivability from restoration. And there's another one where solar weapon precision hits and rapid solar weapon final blows grant radiant. So this would be really useful, like if you're not on a solar subclass. So I could literally just use Sunshot, clear ads while I'm doing damage, and then I'll theoretically keep some uptime. Keep uptime on Radiant during damage phase. So then I would have Tractor Cannon plus Radiant, which would be like the best of both worlds. Well, you main a Warlock, don't you? I'm just basing that off of what I've seen you comment on my videos. It's usually my Warlock videos. Or am I wrong? Yeah, okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. Well, the first boss, I tried to do it on solar. I don't know. I'm really like I can't use the same thing all the time. I don't know. I have like ADHD for build crafting or something. I gotta try all the subclasses, every type of build. So I'll play with like one build for like a couple of play sessions, and then I'll want to switch it up to something completely different. I mean, I'll be honest though, right now I'm feeling like this encounter is better designed for Warlocks. Because, I mean, Sunbracers, Well of Radiance, Ignitions everywhere from the seasonal artifact. Like, it would definitely be easier on Warlock. But I'm trying to get my solo done on Titan. Because I did Ghost of the Deep on Warlock. I did Spire on Hunter. Duality was the last time I did a... I mean, I'm going to run this dungeon on all three characters anyways and farm it and get all the stuff, but just for my first go through and for my solo flawless. I'll just pick one character. Okay, well, I'm going to give this one more shot, and then I got to run and do some stuff, so I'm going to end the stream after this, and I might come back to it tomorrow night. Yeah, Karnstein's, oh my gosh, I really want to... That is on the top of my list to play with on Warlock, because I already liked Karnstein's before, and now they just made it so that you can do it with Ember of Empyrean and just constantly have restoration ×2. That is insane. It is resto ×2, I think, right? And cure. So you get cure ×3, so it's like it's almost like devour on every kill with that much cure. And then restoration ×2 is like invincibility, even though they nerfed restoration. I think resto ×2 is still like just absolutely nuts. So now warlocks can get resto ×2 with like heat rises and phoenix dive with Empyrean, and with Karnstein armlets. And then the only other subclass that can get restoration ×2 is Titan. Titan with strongholds, so that's like purely for sword builds. Oh, and then never mind, like Warlock also has Touch of Flame healing grenades, which give you resto ×2. So you could literally run any solar build on Warlock and have restoration ×2 uptime the entire time. But yeah, the Karnsteins sounds like good fun. This dungeon, I gotta say, is freaking awesome. Okay. Just from finishers with Karnsteins? I guess I forgot that finishers proc Karnsteins. Trying to let him live long enough to spawn that second totem, which I did, but it cost me my life. This frickin' punk, he knocked me back. Oh my gosh. Look how many orbs that made. There's something weird with this encounter. I wonder if heavy-handed is bugged? Well, no, because I was making like sometimes 3 orbs at once before I even used heavy-handed. But that looked like it gave me 1 orb for every single enemy I killed. What's this punk doing here? I need to find the other Minotaur. There he is. Why am I stuck? So as soon as Imminent Wish comes up, you get Biting Cold. Well, that was easy. Oh, this fucker's gonna kill me. Okay, clear ads, clear snipers before dunking orbs. There's no rush. Old school D1 sprint lock, where you just get kind of like stuck, like you're moving slow. How did I miss that again? It's funny, so I don't know if you knew this, but if you notice there, I didn't have to reload my hung jury because it's got kinetic tremors and shoot to loot. And my heavy and my special is full, so it's just automatically reloading off the same brick over and over again. Which means that there's some times where I just like never have to reload hung jury. Oh shit, I didn't... When did I spawn him? Well, I wasn't paying attention there. Didn't even realize I spawned the mini bosses yet. There we go. Look at that, 4 orbs. Nope. Kill the other Minotaur first. Oh. Of course I grab it. After I just said to myself, I'm not going to do that. What? No way. It disappeared. Okay, so if you drop it, you guess you gotta pick it back up like right away. Okay, snipers are dead. Left side Minotaur's dead. I think I'm okay to go to the left. Shit. Still got one to do on this side. Why are these Taken are more beefy than the Scorn? Wait, so that mean I could get 3? I guess I could potentially get 3 or 4. Okay, so now I gotta do the right side, so I can pretty much ignore that side. The sniper's gonna kill me. Snipers are annoying. More snipers? Okay, see you later. This is a good spot here. Did I kill that Minotaur? I feel like I never killed it. Oh, he does spawn right here. Oh, I think I know what it is with the orbs. There's an artifact mod that when you're close to your super, ability kills give you orbs or something like that. I bet that's what it is. Okay, you guys are not sticking around here for damage phase. How many scorn are down there? I don't see any. I think there's some under me, though. Yep, there's some. And I missed. Okay, well, I was able to do some damage. As far as if you're still watching, GJ, as far as the conditional finality, not that I know of. No. Okay, so I overstayed my welcome, and I hardly did any damage. Mind you, there's 4 spots to damage from. Oh. Yeah, at least I have the mechanics figured out now, so like the next time I get on here to put some serious time into it, and then it should just be all about the damage, hopefully. So, yeah, see, Tractor, instead of hitting for like 4,000 there, because I was inside, it's like 12,000. Yeah, so I T-crashed way too late. We got a T-crash ideally at the start of damage phase, because then the aftershock is going to do nothing if you wait till the end. 14 seconds. So I got one pulse grenade, one charged melee, and I could have got another pulse grenade. So I think I probably got to do tractor, pulse grenade, melee, T-crash, something like that. Basically spam all my abilities right at the beginning, and then reapply tractor, because tractor's only what, 10 seconds, so it means I'll have to, if the phase is 14 or 15 seconds, it means I got to reapply tractor like halfway through or towards the end. So like the first 5-6 seconds will take up dumping all my abilities. So apply tractor, dump my abilities, and then just go and then reapply tractor and go into controlled burst. And then while I'm doing the fusion rifle, I'll be able to throw another grenade. Theoretically. Then maybe save my next thunderclap for the ads in between. Oh, also, do you only have like a certain amount of time? Because like what I mean is, after I'm done with this pillar, do I have to go straight into the next pillar, or can I take a break? I mean, obviously, biting cold will kill me if I don't get to the next pillar in time. But there should still be those fires around the back of the walkway where I can go and get the stacks of biting cold off and take a breather while my abilities regen and kill ads. I wonder if you could actually do that. Like, I wonder if you can just take your sweet time between each pillar, or if there's going to be like some kind of wipe mechanic, or damage phase is about to end. Because I didn't see any like separate timer for that. The only timer is the actual damage window inside that aura. Neem's Wish Empowerment. How did it... See, look at that. So the ionic traces completely filled up my armor charge. That's what's nice about using elemental charge with Touch of Thunder pulse grenades and Heart of Most Light. If only Grenade Kickstart wasn't nerfed into the ground, then I easily would have been able to probably do like 3 grenades per pillar. But anyways, I gotta go and run some stuff, so thanks for tuning in, GJ, appreciate it. And I should be back hopefully tomorrow. Normally I play in the evenings. This is like a weird hour for me to be gaming, but my son's gonna be on the streaming rig tonight, streaming Fortnite with my wife, so I don't stream while they're streaming, because then we'd have 3 systems using up our internet at the same time. But yeah, I should hopefully I'll be back on tomorrow evening, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern, something like that. And who knows, I'll probably come into it fresh tomorrow with like a completely new concept, maybe solar like you're saying, and maybe with the new rocket launcher, unless I decide that I want to try and get the catalyst done. I can never remember the name. Dragon's Breath. Yeah, ideally I would have the catalyst, because I think the catalyst gives you, it refuels the rocket faster. So if you get ×5 stacks, like you'll get up to ×5 faster from the scorch damage, which auto reloads the rocket. So theoretically you could do more DPS with the catalyst. But I think that would be interesting to try with something like that. I'd be able to throw my hammer to weaken the boss at the start of each phase. I think it's only like a 5-second weaken effect. But yeah, I would be able to do that. I would be able to weaken. I'd be able to do a Pyrogale super. And then swap between Dragon's Breath and Eremite, possibly, with Controlled Burst and Envious. It's either that or I'm using Sunshot. And if I use Sunshot, then I'd probably go for Apex Predator with Bait and Switch, and like maybe a fusion rifle. So like Riptide. Witherhoard would be kind of nice. Witherhoard and Apex Predator, but then I wouldn't be able to use Sunshot. Yeah, so as you can tell, I'll probably be thinking about this and then come up with something for tomorrow. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.